Android.
A new training resource in Columbus, Kansas will soon help firefighters be better prepared for real-life scenarios. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, a 15,000-mile journey to help veterans brings dozens of motorcyclists to Joplin today. And the Peace Church Cemetery in Joplin pays tribute to the nation's fallen ahead of Memorial Day weekend.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities say an Oswego man charged in connection with a fatal fentanyl overdose is now behind bars. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Authorities in Louisiana arrested Benjamin Queen and today contacted the Parsons, Kansas Police Department. Queen had been wanted in Parsons since March when prosecutors charged him as the alleged drug dealer in the fatal fentanyl overdose of 33-year-old Stormy Watson. Parsons police say he may be charged in Louisiana but will be returned to face charges in Labette County, Kansas. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
And it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today, but we are tracking the potential to get some more thunderstorms in here. You can see them kind of scattered about north central Kansas, diving into northeastern Kansas. This is a little upper level wave that's going to drift south and east and should at least fire off some scattered thunderstorms. Not widespread, but scattered across the region later on this evening into the overnight hours. Any that could develop, I think most of them are going to behave, but we are going to have some that are a little stronger, maybe low-grade severe, and produce a little bit of hail. So we're going to watch that through tonight. Here's 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's continue through the overnight hours. So we may have some scattered thunderstorms to start the day on your Thursday. 76 in Joplin, 75 in Pittsburgh. Looks great. Over the next several hours are going to be dry. Gets really wet for the weekend as well. We'll look at that here in a bit.
See you soon. Columbus firefighters will soon have a facility that allows them to better train for real-life scenarios. The facility will simulate different types of fire scenarios with real smoke and real heat. KOAM Samantha Walker visited the facility and has more on how it'll help prepare firefighters for years to come.
For firefighters, the first time experiencing a real fire can be overwhelming, from the smoke to the heat.
Our new guys would get their first real life situation with a fire in a real life situation. One of the biggest things is our new guys getting their gear on correctly and their SCBA and air on correctly. And the last time, or the time we don't want to see it is on a real fire.
In the past, the Columbus Fire Department hasn't had many opportunities for realistic training.
We'd have to wait for a house here in town to become demolished or on the slated to be demolished. And then we would go see if we could train in it, and a lot of times they're very unsafe, so we wouldn't be able to train or burn in them to recreate that real life like scenarios.
But that's changing thanks to community support. With the help of donations, the department is able to have a training facility in their own backyard. It will allow them to hold various different burn scenarios, where firefighters will be able to learn what the heat and smoke of a real fire feel like.
By being able to get them in there and get them acclimated to the heat, to the smoke, to live fire conditions, how to actually put the fire out in a safe environment is way more beneficial to the visitors and the citizens of Columbus and Cherokee County whenever time and minutes matter when a real fire happens.
The facility is built to look like a small home or apartment, with windows, doors, and even furniture. He says this is a great resource for Columbus to have in their own backyard, not only allowing them to train close to home, but it's also a resource other departments can use.
We're able to kind of make it however we want. So we can move walls around, we can move bedrooms around. They can come right here to Columbus in this area of the county, and we can burn in it and do whatever kind of training they wanted. So it's very beneficial, just not for Columbus, but for anybody who wants to come and train with us.
He estimates the completed project to cost between $15,000 to $20,000, and it will last the department for years.
This actually should last us at least my whole career and our new guys' next 30 or 40 years.
Reporting in Columbus, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The department says the training facility will be completely finished within the next month. They do plan to hold their first real training in it with their firefighters next week. The Nation of Patriots bike ride rolled through Joplin today as part of a 120-day, 15,000-mile journey to raise money for veterans. They ultimately rolled these motorcycles through all 50 states. Riders came from Fort Smith, Arkansas, and gathered at VFW Post 534 for lunch and a silent auction. About 50 motorcyclists met at Love's to join the ride, with Joplin police escorting the group through town.
Well, this one in particular is actually very special. So we dedicated this ride to a gentleman named Rick Chrisman. He recently passed away, and he was always my road captain. So it was great that we had so many show up in dedication of him.
The event was open to the public, and donations support veterans along the route. Volunteers have honored more than 24 veterans laid to rest at the Peace Church Cemetery in Joplin. Flags have been placed at the headstones of the fallen veterans and at the monument at the historic cemetery. The volunteers from the Peace Church Cemetery Association and the American Legion Post 13 put in the effort.
This being Memorial Day weekend coming up, we want to make sure that their flag is placed on their grave, and that anyone that comes out and visits, that they know that there's a veteran buried here, and they help make this country free for them.
From the very first burial at the site in 1846 to the most recent in 2005, the Peace Church Cemetery Association volunteer group aims to honor and tell the stories of those who are laid to rest here. Action on the softball diamond today as Colgan takes on Uniontown. John's going to have the highlights later in sports, but up first, millions of people will hit the road for the holiday weekend, including many right here in the 4 states. What you need to know before you head out. Memorial Day isn't here just yet, but travel for the holiday, it's already begun. According to AAA, Missouri has seen some of the highest numbers of drivers on the road since 2000. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with AAA to learn how you can stay safe and prepared before hitting the road for the holiday.
I'm from Cobden, Illinois, and I'm coming from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Delbert Russell's from Oklahoma. She's like millions passing through town. Like many, she's visiting family. For her, it's her grandchildren.
Grandchildren are all spread out. I have 2 in Colorado, which I just visited, and then I drove from Colorado to Oklahoma City to bring these 3 from Oklahoma City back to me.
As you can see, she's been driving a lot, but so is a lot of others.
We're going to Indianapolis, Indiana. You know, biggest single day race of the year.
Right now we're headed to Branson from Tulsa. We'll go to Silver Dollar City, and we just love to drive around up there.
We're heading to Yorkville, Illinois, traveling from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it's a move.
Now, all that traveling may be fun, but in order to stay safe on those roadways, Nick Shabaria from AAA says it's good they're starting out early with the driving.
The worst times to be going through there are the early afternoon all the way to the mid to late evening hours. That's when we expect to see the heaviest congestion.
And not only that, Shabaria says there's going to be a lot of extra people on the roads this year.
Overall in Missouri, we're expecting about 940,000 travelers in total for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. That's up about 3% from last year.
Shabaria says avoid extra problems by having your vehicle in proper working order.
Make sure your vehicle is road trip ready. Check things like battery, engines, make sure that tires, make sure that you're getting your oil changed at regular intervals. That's going to make sure that you stay on the road and minimize the risk of running into issues.
Deborah has her own way of dealing with these youngsters while she's driving.
Mom packs all kinds of snacks. And
reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
According to the Missouri Highway Patrol, there were more than 1,000 crashes and 10 fatalities in Missouri alone during the 2024 Memorial Day weekend. A little bit later, a beautiful yard that supports local wildlife. Well, the Conservation Department hosts a native plant sale this Saturday in Joplin.
And to get that beautiful yard, you need rain, and we have a lot of it coming our way. We're going to look at that coming. It was definitely a beautiful Wednesday for us today. Plenty of sunshine, not much in the way of wind. Temperatures mid-70s, just about perfect for this time of the year. And we do have some scattered showers and thunderstorms, which are going to start to work in later on tonight. Here's a weak upper level wave, so you can see scattered showers and thunderstorms north central Kansas, kind of in southeastern parts of Nebraska. These should flare up a little bit more once this wave gets closer to us. We're not going to have widespread rain. It's going to be very scattered. I would say 60% of our area won't see anything tonight, but the other 40%, we could see some pretty beefy storms. But right now, looks pretty good. It's going to stay fairly calm as we go through the next few hours. And then scattered thunderstorms southwestern Missouri start to get going 8, 9, 10 p.m. and then just kind of hit and miss through the night. Anything It shouldn't be too strong. Now, we may get a few low-grade severe storms that could produce some gusty winds and large hail, but I don't think we're looking at anything tornadic or anything out of these. So I'm not worried about that, but could be a little loud at times. Scattered thunderstorms continue to work through all the way into Thursday morning, and then Thursday will turn out to be a pretty nice day. Great shot, Cornell. Arts and Entertainment Complex downtown. We are looking northeast through downtown Joplin. 73 in Stockton, 78 in Anderson, 81 in Bonita. We have Chanute sitting at 78 through the evening hours, 70s, 60s with those scattered thunderstorms popping up later on this evening. So again, due to this upper level wave, but a much stronger storm system organizing off the coast of the Pacific Northwest, and that will start to affect us as we go into the holiday weekend. So let's walk our way toward that. Tonight, those hit and miss storms to start Thursday. As we go through the daytime hours on Thursday, partly sunny skies. Could have a couple showers in the morning, and then the afternoon looks pretty good. I think high temps, lower 70s. Tomorrow night, pretty much clear skies, a little cool. We dip back near 50 for an overnight low. Let's go into Friday, and then we'll go through the holiday weekend. Friday, by the afternoon, scattered thunderstorms. We shouldn't have much in the way of upper level dynamics, so I don't anticipate these to be severe. They could be a little bit stronger, a little loud as we get into Friday afternoon, and also dump some heavy amounts of rain late Friday, Friday night, and then going all the way into Saturday morning. You can just see just round of showers and thunderstorms. All right, day planner on your Thursday, 58 to start, 69 by noon, high temp 73 degrees. All right, let's go into your holiday weekend. Of course, a lot of people camp, go floating, or go to the lakes, and this one's going to be pretty wet. So we start Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms, only getting into the mid-70s for highs. You can see this wind shift line, so I think any severe weather mainly stays to our south on Saturday, but that wind shift line creeps a little farther north on Sunday, so our storms could be a little beefier, maybe a low severe threat as we go into Sunday evening. I think the biggest threat is going to be rain. A lot of areas can pick up 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 inches as we go through the holiday weekend. 73 on your Thursday, 74 Friday, 70s over the weekend, and then we finally start to dry out after the holiday weekend.
Wow. And after this past weekend, things are saturated.
It's very
already.
saturated, so flash flooding is likely.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, high school baseball and softball playoffs continue to heat up in the 4 states. And a few more of our local teams have the chance to go to states. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Last night, 5 of our local high school baseball and softball teams punched their ticket to state. This afternoon into this evening, several more can follow suit. Class 2-1A regional championship between the top 2 seeds in the tournament. Uniontown and Colgan, winners going to state. Top of the first inning, Panthers with a couple runners on. This bloop off the bat is snagged by Reese Gorman at short, and she fires to second in time for the double play. Eagles keep the Panthers off the scoreboard in the first, and the top of the 6th. We're still scoreless. Runner on again, and this line drive is caught by Gorman. She turns the double play again. She was outstanding in the field this afternoon. Still no score, top 7. Runner on third. Katie Duncan grounds to short, and Kylie Kretschmar hustling home. She's safe. Colgan scores the first run of the game. It's 1-0. Panthers start to break free later in the inning. Lauren O'Brien laces one down the line and left. Reese Smith coming around third. She'll score easily. Colgan puts 4 on the scoreboard in the 7th. Bottom of the inning, Bella Ascanio finishes out a complete game shutout in the circle. Final out comes on a grounder to third, and Colgan is headed to the 2-1A state tournament. The Panthers win a defensive battle 4-0 over Uniontown. Meanwhile, in Frontenac, the defending 3A state champion Raiders face Galena in the regional semis. We start in the first, Frontenac with a runner on second, and Alana Sullivan knocks it into the opposite field. Madison Lajatis races home, and the Raiders grab the early lead. Now runner on third, Madison Call finds the hole in the infield, and just like that, Raiders lead by 2, and they're far from finished. Bases are loaded with 1 out. Tenley Sullivan squeezes it between third and short. 2 more will score. The Raiders lead by 5 after 1. And Avery Johnson in the circle, well, she makes sure that it stays that way. She strikes out the side in inning number 2, and Frontenac cruises to a 10-0 victory over Galena. the Lady Raiders advanced to the regional finals. In that regional championship game, the Raiders will take on 2-seed Columbus. The Lady Titans beat Baxter Springs 6-5 on a walk-off ground rule double by Katie Mooney. That was in the bottom of the 7th. We'll bring you the highlights from this regional final later tonight at 9 and 10. Over in Iola, another 3A regional championship taking place. The Lady Mustangs lead Burlington 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. We've got one high school baseball regional tournament in our area today as well. That includes Colgan, who hopes to join its softball team in clinching a trip to state. Regional that they're in had its semifinals today and finals later on. Northeast Arma upsets the number 1 seed Uniontown 7-1 in the first game. Colgan beats Marmaton Valley 11-1 in the second. Panthers and Vikings will face off in the championship shortly. Switching gears to Missouri High School Baseball, 3 district championship games feature our local teams this evening. One of them is an all-Tiger battle in Class 3 District 12. In the 6th inning, Lamar leads the host school, Stockton, 2-0. Over to Class 4 District 10 tournament, the championship game going on right now in Stratford. Nevada leads Mount Vernon 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then in Class 4 District 11, that championship game, the number 1 seed Seneca leads the 2 seed Aurora 3-2 in the 5th inning. Winner here faces the District 12 champion in sectionals. That'll either be Logan Rogersville or Hollister. Another note that I wanted to mention, Crowder softball wins again at the Junior College World Series, so they move on, and their player of the game, a former Columbus Titan, so pretty cool to see the Crowder making waves out there.
I'll see if they can keep it rolling. And a lot of games in progress right now, so we'll have some updates tonight. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A call for a ban on homeless encampments in California. We're going to have more from that state's governor calling for the ban. Plus, it's sentencing day for an Arma man convicted of first-degree murder. And the city of Miami wants to hear from you, from the public, concerning ideas for a new mural. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, you have an opportunity to pick up some native plants for your landscaping. The Missouri Department of Conservation will conduct a native plant sale this coming Saturday, Joplin's Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center. The department says since the plants grow naturally in Missouri, well, they provide plenty of benefits.
Native plant is something that occurs in the state naturally, and this makes them perfectly adapted for all the conditions that Missouri has to offer. And it also makes them, once they're established, really kind of low maintenance and really beneficial for our pollinators.
That sale is going to run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday. Again, it's at the Shoal Creek Conservation Center. I hope the weather allows you to get out there this Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to have quite a bit of rain over the weekend. Could be fairly widespread. There are going to be gaps that it's not raining, but I would say of the 3-day weekend, 70% of it is going to be wet.
Yeah, it's going to be soggy one way or the other for sure. Final sports notes.
We'll have more from that regional championship between Frontenac and Columbus softball later tonight. The Lady Raiders state title defense going pretty well so far.
All right, see how it turns out. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.